come the trade deadline. He's a champion. He has big game experience. And
former World Series MVP.
Yes, former World Series MVP in 2008.
And former NLCS MVP.
Yes, there you go. Keep it going. A resume like his is just amazing for a price tag. And I'm going to call it low because you're not asking for the moon and the sun for Cole Hamels. So, as I said before, he's going to be a hot commodity come the trade deadline. And if you can sell a Chance Adams, who was once and probably still is, a highly thought of prospect for the Yankees, if they view him as a reliever, not even as a starter, that's something really to consider.
Okay. I know the Yankees like Adams, but I don't know how other teams view him. Nick,
also,
go ahead.
Just to throw it in real quick, Cole Hamels, he's 3-5 and then has a 3.74 ERA this year so far. So obviously
he had a real struggle at the beginning.
Yes, and he obviously the record comes with obviously not having the best team around him. But the 3.74 ERA is it's obviously
acceptable.
Yeah,
I actually have his line from his previous 3 games. If you'll indulge me for a second,
I will indulge you.
So against Kansas City, which is what you brought up, he went 6.1 innings pitched. 8 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Now, against the Yankees, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 home runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Okay, so that's kind of night and day. The Kansas City Royals are such an inferior team to the Yankees at that point, but I'm going to go one more to the Houston Astros.
Okay.
6 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, no home runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. The Rangers ended up winning that game 1-0.
Okay.
Who was he going against?
Doesn't say.
All right, Dominic, do me a favor. Look it up. Nick, go ahead.
I'll just want to start by rebutting a couple of things. Number one, trade deadline is a deadline for a reason, and teams are willing to sell for a reason. So that price, getting them cheaper earlier is not necessarily true. There's a reason teams are scrambling to lose guys by the trade deadline. Sometimes it's guys who you're going to get cheap because it's at the trade deadline, and sometimes it's guys you're going to have to put some money into. Cole Hamels is going to be a guy that you're probably going to have to give above average prospects for because he's not just a rental. He has an option for next year at $20 million. And the Yankees...
Yeah, but the rumor now is that if the Yankees trade for Hamels, they're going to do something with that option to make it go away.
And real quick, he versed Verlander.
Wow.
Did he
we
really?
have to Verlander.
Yep.
Nice.
There we go.
Another thing is I mentioned not necessarily cheaper. Playoff experience, right?
Yes.
Playoff experience is great. That was a decade ago.
Yes.
Okay? And for me, in all sports, it's very much so, what have you done for me lately? Granted, he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities because he's, for the most part, been on bad Phillies teams and bad Ranger teams. So I would just say that things that he did over the over 10 years or close to 10 years ago aren't exactly things that I try to find. Now, I'm glad you brought up the Houston Astros because I have a couple of stats here.
Okay.
Hitters of the Houston Astros, most of them hit pretty well against them, but the 2 main guys kind of kill him. Springer, 4-16, and I know the average doesn't pop out, but over his career, 3 home runs and 6 RBIs against Cole Hamels.
Okay.
So if you're getting Cole Hamels to the Yankees, the reason you're going after him is because you want him to beat the Astros.
Agreed.
They're going to be our main competition. Another guy, and he's just another guy in a long list of teams that can't figure him out, is Jose Altuve. He has 365 on base. He has speed to beat you on the base paths. He's always going to be a problem. And I know it's a guy that you have to worry about no matter what team you are, but it would seem to me I want a guy who can go through a Houston Astros lineup and just make them look silly. That guy's not out there.
That guy doesn't exist, period.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. I don't think any pitcher can really go through the lineup of the Astros and make them look silly.
Which is why I don't feel the need to overpay with some... Look, you can
wait. Look at the... Adams, I agree with you, would be an overpay.
I think it's an overpay.
But I agree with you with Adams. I agree with you with Adams.
Okay.
But Josh Rogers and 2 mid-level prospects, I'll be honest with you, never heard of Josh Rogers. And I don't know who these 2 mid-level prospects are going to be, so if they're nobodies, I may do it.
And that's the thing, though. But I don't buy the Josh Rogers section of that. If you're going to trade for Cole Hamels, you're going to have to give up. He's a legitimate pitcher. My problem is not with his legitimacy. My problem is for his lack of playoff experience lately, and the fact that
that's also punishing him for something he has no control over.
I understand, but also it's worth mentioning that in the playoffs in 2009, he was absolutely shellacked by the Dodgers and the Yankees. So,
and I'll go back to what you said. That was almost a decade ago.
Fair enough.
Okay, I also want to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I just want to go back to something that you said specifically in the group chat. You would rather not go after Cole Hamels,
Yes.
number one, from what you just said. But you also said that
I thought demons were leaving my body.
you also said that he's not the right guy. So here's the next question that I will ask you: who is the right guy? Because the number of pitchers that are out there as of recently, we all heard of them: Madison Bumgarner,
Who I wouldn't touch.
Fulmer.
You really wouldn't touch Bumgarner?
He's
with
gonna
his
cost
pitched
way
all
too much.
year.
I understand,
He's
but
gonna
his
cost
playoff
way too
resume
much.
recently. I mean, this guy is a dynamo in the
He
playoffs.
hasn't pitched all year.
I think for
I
a
don't know what
pitcher-
I'm getting for him.
I think for a
Let
pitcher
him,
who
let
hasn't-
him let him pitch 2 months and then talk to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, for
Buddy,
a
it's
pitcher
2
that
months before the trade deadline, so we'll see.
You see how I did that?
for a pitcher that hasn't pitched the whole season, I think his value is still going to be pretty high, which is why I don't think you should pull the trigger. Obviously, if he pitched throughout the season and it wasn't really going like in favor, it's possible, but I don't know.
See now, again, just going back to what I said about Fulmer. Now, Fulmer...
He scares me.
Yes, but it is interesting because the Tigers
Fulmer
are...
stinks.
No, but the Tigers are in rebuild mode right now, so you're going to have to give up more prospects for Fulmer than possibly Cole Hamels.
You would absolutely have to give up
Okay,
more.
so just
He's
keep that in
younger.
mind.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny because Hamels is the better pitcher.
Right, and
Absolutely.
it's
Hands
also that...
down. The best pitcher on the market right now is Hamels. He's better than Chris Archer.
But
He's
then you
better
also
than
have
Fulmer.
to...
Archer's the most overrated player in all of baseball.
I don't understand. Look at his stat line, people. What are you talking about? Why do we want this guy?
Can I
Wait,
tell you why?
so if you-
Can I tell you why people like Archer?
Why?
He's the ace on the Rays. That's exactly why. I'm not saying it's a good reason. I'm just saying that's the reason.
So
Dominic, go ahead.
You're
I don't
saying
get
that Cole Hamels is obviously the best pitcher to
Right now,
get there.
because if you're calling Madison Bumgarner a pipe dream, then yeah, he's the best pitcher on the market.
So then you don't think you're still against it?
I'm still against it unless they get him for nothing. It has to be
I
a
feel like,
song.
I feel
What-
like they kind
what
of
is
are.
your-
Like it's not like they're giving
Chance
up too
Adams
much.
is not a song.
It is not.
Chance
I do
Adams-
agree with
Chan-
that.
This
Chance
is the
Adams-
top-rated pitcher in our farm system. I'm not giving him up.
Well,
for-
he's
Chance
the
Adams-
third best pitcher in the farm
excuse me,
system.
I forgot. We have Sheffield and
Abreu.
and Abreu.
Chance Adams is the starter at AAA Scranton. Texas views him as a reliever. What does that show you about his potential?
Guess what we could use if he doesn't pan out as a starter right now? A reliever.
Okay.
Yankees don't need bullpen help.
They might.
When?
They've been shaky all year.
They've actually been pretty good.
They've shorted up lately. but
Chapman's going to be an all-star.
Chapman's going to be an all-star. Have you noticed that he's like? I know he's saving games, but a lot of times he's giving up runs while he's saving it.
He's
I know
getting
you
the
don't-
save.
I know you don't care. You get the save, you get the win. I get out. I understand that, but it's
And when he doesn't need to give up runs, he doesn't.
right. And I still
You
don't,
can give up runs and get the save. I don't have a problem with that.
I still don't trust Betances. I still don't trust Conley right now. So
I agree with you about Betances. Canley, I'm not
excuse me,
Haley
sold on.
just came back, so give him a
And
little bit
Warren's
of
going
time.
to be coming back too.
Right, so
Don't forget
again,
about Robertson
that-
also.
And Robertson's been shaky.
Yeah.
but I see what
Robertson's
you're saying.
been shaky.
You have Chad Green. You have Holder. You have Shreve. Yankees don't need bullpen help.
Holt's been coming around too, but basically what I'm trying to say is
Go ahead.
if you have a AAA starter at Scranton, who in some cases the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre lineup is better than some major league
It's
teams.
better than the Mets lineup.
Let's be honest about that. But if you have a pitcher like Chance Adams, who has been highly thought of for a while in that Yankee system, and you view him as a reliever
I
in the
don't.
Rangers
They
system,
do.
right. Like that's what I'm
It's
saying.
actually, you're actually bringing up a very good point. The Yankees may be overvaluing their own prospect here.
Okay.
If they view him as a starter and other teams don't, that's an issue.
Right, but what I'm saying is, if you're saying that Cole Hamels is probably the best pitcher on this trade market, which in my opinion, I think he is, because I don't think the Yankees are going to get Madison Bumgarner, because it could start with either Andujar or Torres.
And keep
if
in
they're
mind,
being
we're
greedy.
only talking about the trade market right now. There's
Right.
going to be 2 or 3
Can I
more
please
teams.
stop hearing about Madison Bumgarner? The guy hasn't pitched all year.
Okay,
Right,
you won't
I'm
hear
just-
about him
what
again in this
What if
conversation.
what if in the next 2 months the guy lays an egg?
Right.
So I don't want to hear it.
Okay,
Right,
we
I'm
won't-
just-
He's coming back.
Bumgarner.
He's coming back from surgery. I don't
Right.
know what I'm getting from. I know
The-
Chris Russo likes him, which tells me something, but I don't know what I'm getting.
The only reason why I'm bringing up Bumgarner's name is because we keep hearing about him.
I don't want to hear it. I'll tell you right now. It's a bunch of
fine.
nonsense. to me.
Okay, fine. Then push Bumgarner out the
Forget
window.
about Bumgarner. And you know what? My point was, we're talking about the trade deadline now. There are going to be 2 or 3 teams that are competing now that aren't competing in 2 months.
Okay.
That's why you wait. That's there. What is the emergency? Why do we need to pull a trigger for a pitcher that we can have in 2 months anyway if we need him?
You want Herman and Gray starting every 5th day?
And also the prices could be higher.
And we're
As Eric
still-
said
you know
before.
That
what?
was my
You know
point.
what?
Well,
You know what?
that's a blanket statement, though. You're talking about 2 different things. If no one else is going after Hamels, then the price is low.
He's already on the market, so if he's available in 2 months, he's going to be cheap. He's going to be cheaper than he is now.
If he is available on the market.
What's your definition of cheap?
I'm talking 2 or 3 mid-level prospects.
Similar to a Sonny Gray type haul.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? That would be fair. Not fair, because Sonny Gray we gave up a bunch for. Caprillion was a top-rated pitcher.
Caprillion was also an unknown because he had Tommy John a couple of times. Jorge Mateo was the biggest loss. We didn't know if Dustin Fowler was going to play again.
All of them were actually coming off injuries.
Understood, but they were highly coveted prospects.
Here's the big issue in acquiring Hamels. And Nick, this is why you've lost this debate. You have not brought up the worst part of bringing in Cole Hamels. The Yankees have Jordan Montgomery coming back. A playoff rotation of Severino, Sabathia, Montgomery, and Tanaka is not bad. I'll take that. Well, if you have the lineup that the Yankees do, if you have the bullpen that the Yankees do, you don't need another starter. It would be nice, but if Hamels is a Yankee and Montgomery comes back, you're sending Montgomery down to AAA. You're stuck with Gray. You cannot send down Jordan Montgomery. The Yankees are so stacked right now that Ronald Torreyes, someone who is hitting .330, is in Scranton right now. So you have lost this debate because you have not.
Know what? But,
Can I just jump in on something really quick?
Hold on a second, because this goes into my point from before. We wait. We don't make a trade because we're winning. Why do we need to do it now? There's no point.
Nick, you are talking about two different things. You're saying Cole Hamels isn't a good pitcher.
I didn't say that.
Nick,
I did not say that.
It says it right here, Nick. Hold on. You said I don't like Cole Hamels.
I don't like Cole Hamels.
So he's not a good pitcher.
I don't like the deal. A deal for Cole Hamels
Nick,
now. It does not mean that I don't like.
The text is I don't like Cole Hamels.
I don't like Cole Hamels because I don't think he's the right guy. Doesn't mean that I don't accept the fact that he's a good pitcher.
I mean,
I'll tell you that's not what that says to me.
You can still not like a player, but he can still be good.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it all around.
You don't like Draymond Green. Is he a bad player?
Nah, he's overrated. I'll tell you that.
We're not even getting into that today.
A little bit.
He's a little overrated.
A little bit.
Overvalued.
Best player in overtime last night, I'll tell you that. But people say he's the best defender in the NBA. He's not the best defender in the NBA. He's just not.
One situation that I feel like everybody is forgetting about also is you also have to consider the contract situation because he's going to have to drop it because it's pretty sure he's due $20 million. So that's a little ridiculous. And then also,
it's like a vesting option, though.
Yeah, but then also, and then obviously, which wouldn't be a problem at all. I can't see why he would have a problem doing this, but he would have to waive his no trade clause, which obviously, if he's going to the Yankees, I think he'll do in a second, but still.
Yeah, the only player who doesn't want to go to the Yankees is Cliff Lee and Greg Maddux.
I would like to just preface what I'm about to say that I understand he has done a fantastic job with our farm system and with the management of our players lately, but I'm scared, and from the beginning, I hated the Sonny Gray trade. I hated it last year. I hate it still this year. I just didn't see and still haven't seen the value for him yet.
That's where you and I differ. I loved it at the time, but go on.
But Brian Cashman making a trade midseason for a pitcher scares me. That's another big reason.
But
and I don't want to see a situation. I know trades can go either way. I don't want to see a situation where we're giving up something like what the Expos gave up to the Indians and Sizemore, Cliff Lee, and Brandon Phillips for Bartolo Colon. I don't want
and
that.
Tim Drew.
And Tim Drew, that's right.
Okay, but let me just preface two things. Number one, Cole Hamels is already on the trade market right now. So what does that say about the Texas Rangers mailing in their season right now?
That means they've given up.
Right, because they can't compete in the AL West. You can probably catch the Mariners. You could probably catch the Angels. It's not likely because you're still going to be in the shadow of the Astros. That's number one. Number two is this. The Yankees can't afford to stand pat at the deadline.
I actually disagree with you there.
Yeah, I disagree.
It goes back to what I said before. Trading for Cole Hamels is good in a bubble. But when you expand the bubble, the Yankees absolutely do not need him. You have Montgomery coming back. You have Severino. You have Sabathia. Tanaka's inconsistent, but he seems to have turned it around. And Sonny Gray, I have faith that he's going to turn it around. He's too talented.
Okay. I do too. But can I ask you something? When the Astros acquired Verlander, were they still a good team before that?
Of course.
Okay.
But the Astros needed starting pitching depth.
Right, but they got better because of that, correct?
Maybe if Montgomery comes back and doesn't do well.
Wait. The Yankee rotation this year is nowhere near as bad as the Astro rotation was last year.
I agree with you, but the reason why I'm bringing that up is because Verlander put the Astros over the top, and they won the World Series.
I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is we can pencil the Yankees and the Astros in the playoffs this year. Are they going to be in a collision course for the ALCS? Time will tell, but right now it's looking really, really promising.
The answer is yes. Just say yes.
Yes.
You don't need to be diplomatic.
Okay, fine, but yes.
You be diplomatic on the group chat, don't be diplomatic here.
Fine. But the Yankees and the the Astros are probably going to be on a collision course to the ALCS again. I want revenge as a Yankee fan over the Houston Astros, and I feel like if you add a guy like Cole Hamels, I'm not saying he's going to be this year's Justin Verlander, but if Cole Hamels can put the Yankees rotation over the top, on top of everything else that is